Hope you guys are doing good. So, learning how to use the Evolution mag drill. There's some things about it that I'm not too thrilled about. Just my user error. Which is probably the case, but one of the things I've noticed is that because the way the chuck is, it has the two angled flats, and that's how you put the chuck adapter or the actual thing in. But the big thing with this is because the actual angular cutter has a centering bit, you have to make sure you have a roughly 1/4 inch diameter hole. Just double checking. Everything's tight. The last time things weren't tight. Good there. We're getting the I'm gonna bring you guys, flip you guys around. So the cutter has that little centering bit. We have the 1/4 inch hole, so we're gonna feed that in. Got that in. Turn the back power button on, that's the magnetization. If you got shrapnel in you, especially your balls, it'll be flying everywhere, like an MRI. Remember, when you're using the mag, don't eat a lunch of ball bearings or else it'll come out of your stomach. Mess with you guys. We want to turn this on. See, it's up. Good. And I'm just using some food grade mineral oil for lubricant because I don't have any cutting fluid, so I'm just using what I got. And this is just a neutral thing. You guys can see the plug that we put in is working good. It's removing the metal around it. Under the diameter of this plate, it's a 0.55, so it's slightly thicker than ½ inch. It's 0.55 inches in thickness. And you really want to make sure that the brush to get rid of the chips. All the way through. Now the plug is stuck on the inside because it's the same diameter, ½ inch inner diameter. So we're just gonna bring this all the way up. Bring this all the way up. And because we're gonna take the bit out, we're gonna plug that. Plug it right there. Oh, got it out. That's good. You can see part of the plug that isn't what we put in. But always have a chip brush and unplug the machine entirely before you mess with the bit. We just have one more to drill. One thing that I noticed was cool before we do any drilling, make sure that it's all nice and tight. Sometimes it feels like you have the bit in there. So this is the bit for the chuck adapter. So you see the chuck with, you see how you got those two flats. You got two opposing Allen keys in the chuck of this. And when you put this in, you want sure that you twist it around, make sure it's seated. But sometimes it feels like it's seated, but it's not. Earlier, I was live streaming on my TikTok, and we got through the plate most of the way, but then the angular bit was stopped, but the outer chuck was spinning. So you gotta always double check with this stuff. Sometimes it seems like it's good, but it's not. That was definitely a me error, probably. When you want to drill you're using or other things you gotta adjust. But because we are able to weld in the plugs from the back, we had to use the chuck, the regular drill attachment. All right, that's centered there. Blue. Sturdy. How you doing? Elbow, whatever your name is. And this tool, it's able to do a lot, but you have to go down a little bit at a time, go back up, use a chip brush, just a regular paint brush, and get the bits of metal. This is a really thin piece, but sometimes you have thicker pieces, and this stuff will cut you really easily. Probably being a little extra nice with this tool, but I got this thing on a payment plan and I don't want to mess up the bits because the tool comes with the bottle and other stuff. It does not come with any angular cutters. It does come with the chuck adapter, but I got a set of how many? I got a set of 6 angular cutters, and this is the one bit that I need for this. So that whole 6-piece set was like $100. So, I mean, so far it's cutting great. Now the plug is pretty much half diameter, so the things that we plug welded in the back are going to be stuck in this. So we're going to bring this all the way up. Also slide this all the way up. Left. Undo the mag, turn up the mag switch. We're going to unplug it from the machine because this whole little bitter is so sharp. This thing turn on, it would definitely mess up the cane. And of course the bit plug sticking out. At least with the mineral oil, we don't have to worry about the water issue. See, I'm holding that bit, but right now it's just slightly warm. So taking our time. Taking bites, backing off. Besides this having its own, oh, I gotta turn this off. You gotta turn the valve off for the dripper. Even though it does drip whatever coolant you use, I'm just using food grade mineral oil. That's what I got. But I know it won't mess up the machine. So it's just pure that. You can see how I can rotate it now. That's because the bit is, Allen keys are still partially touching it. There we go. So you got your centering. You see you got that plug right there. And carefully push that out. Okay, or I might just have to carefully grab a bit. And there we go. There's the plug. But you can see why drilling the 1/4-inch hole through those plugs that we put in. Obviously, at hindsight, I would have just bought, got the payment plan for this tool before I did all the stupidity burning out drill bits that I had, but I didn't believe it myself at the time. But that centering bit helps you find center and also guide the tool. So you guys can see that bit right there that we just used is one of 6, and this is like $100 kit. But luckily, we're through. You guys can see, we're able to go through. Of course, I'm going to put a little, I think I got an old chamfering tool, but that way the anchor bolt for the anvil plate, which is this diameter, which is like 3/4, you got a little bit of slack, so that means it won't be impossible to put this thing on. Now I think 4 of these bolts should be enough. Because what me and Dad are going to do, once we clear out all this crap, is we're going to go slightly wider than this anvil base plate, and we're going to cut out the concrete, like a 2 foot by 2 foot square. We're going to tear out the old concrete, dig out the dirt. This concrete is old and cheap, so it's probably like not even 4 inches thick. So we're going to down, put rebar, which we got plenty of, and concrete, so it'll be reinforced, and we'll have the all thread that's going to be this diameter sticking up. So I think four bolts should be good, because this is going to be where we weld the other pieces of steel for the anvil, because we want the anvil to be separate from the machine. The machine will be bolted to this. That's another reason why having the mag drill helps, because I got some heavy duty angle iron, also some 1/2 inch plate, and I got more of these T-bolts, so I'd be able to bolt this to the ground and have it bolted to the body of the power hammer. So that's doing good. What time is it? My hands are greasy as hell. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I know this is a short stream. I will be back. I gotta use the bathroom, clean up. I'm gonna go get a coffee from my local Cumbies. But then I'm gonna try to clear up the space a bit and probably get the welding table set up, so that way we can start working on welding the anvil plate. But I gotta take a little break. I got shit. Jen, I need this shit. Wash my hands. But remember, be safe, have fun. As always, watching. The God. Be safe, have fun, make some cool stuff.